Hey guys, this is my very first toy review that I'm actually doing on video for the first time. I usually post photos of stuff I get in the mail, and I leave a little notes about some of the cool features, but some people want me to do a little bit more in-depth look at some of the collectibles I get, so here it is. Instead of going into too many details about my collecting history and stuff, let me just get to it and give you my rundown on my newest addition to my collection. So here he is, CT7567, also known as Captain Rex. He's probably one of the more popular clone troopers in the Clone Wars series. He's definitely one of my favorites. So what I'm going to do is go from top to bottom and just point out a couple features in his armor and of this statue. And also after that I'm gonna give you an in-depth review of some of the good and the bad of this statue. So here we have is his DC-15A rifle, blaster rifle, and then on top of him is his bucket, his iconic bucket with his Mandalorian sigil and his blue stripes. There's his pauldron that a lot of the captains wear. Then there's his armor, and then his commas. He wears his two blasters on his in his holsters, the rest of his armor, and then here's the base, a busted up super battle droid. So here he is, all assembled. He actually comes in multiple pieces in the box, but it's not that really hard. You don't even need instructions to put it together. It's self-explanatory. As you can see, compared to other Captain Rex releases in the past, this one's a little bit more gray. The blue isn't as vibrant, and like if you look at the commas, usually it's black in a lot of the action figures, but this one is a little bit more weathered. That's just like a texturing or effect in the paint that Sideshow decided to apply to this statue, and I actually like it a lot because, if you look at the base with the battle droid and Captain Rex, he's just leading his troops. He just took down a lot of droids and won the battle, so of course he's not going to be clean. And you know what? I can actually appreciate that because so many different companies make the glossy clone troopers. Why not make it a little bit more dirty? It just pops. Let's go with the back first, and you guys can get a quick turnaround of the figure. Here he is, his iconic jetpack. What's really cool is it's actually detachable, and if you see, the armor is still there. What there is a magnet in here and a magnet in here, and what it does is if you take it up to it, it pulls it together and keeps it in place. So you don't have to deal with pegs and holes and trying to get the fitting right. It's pretty much automatic. The sculpt on the jetpack is a little disappointing because there's so much detail in the statue itself, but then the jetpack seems a little bit rushed, I guess. And what kind of really sucks about this is that instead of painting the detail on the jetpack, a lot of these blue is actually decal, like some kind of adhesive decal, and it's actually starting to peel for some reason, and it's actually very disappointing. Like, I already lost right here, but what can I say? Like I said before, I love the statue too much. Maybe it just looks like he's weathered a little bit more. So I'm gonna put that right back here. And Rex has one, and he has two of his blasters. Rex always has his two. What's really cool is they're removable from the holster, and they, even the weapons has a lot of weathering, a lot of texturing. It's really beautiful. I mean, it looks like a really simple sculpt, but I do appreciate the attention to detail in it. I just feel like, why did they put so much detail into this and make it so nice, but put on a weird sticker that peels off. So I'll put that right back here. And usually Rex is, you know, holding his 2 blasters, but in this case he's holding his D615A blaster rifle. And what's really cool is it's kind of sitting on his in the thigh, and he's just kind of giving his victory pose, and which is really cool. This also comes apart when you get it in the box, and as well in here there's a magnet. So it's really simple. You don't have to worry about falling off. You don't have to worry about breaking pegs and damaging it. It just sits. And you know, just like the blasters, the rifling has beautiful sculpts, straight lines, beautiful texture, awesome paint. And as usual, why did they do this so well? But then the jetpack is so crappy. And like any good captain, he has his special little armors. And so Rex, his pauldron, and also his kamas. The kamas is actually fabric, like, you know, a lot of the premium format figures, a lot of mixed media, a lot of the under armor right here is fabric, and then there's the sculpted pieces on the top, or the armor itself. Here's the bucket with his I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but his Jaga Eyes decal. I think these are actually decals as well, but then there is some kind of weathering paint on top, so there must be a finish on it. So I think it's not going to peel as long as I don't mess with it or keep it in the sun. Here's your viewfinder. The head actually comes off too. That's how it was shipped, and there's some articulation, so you could do a little bit more. You know, I usually like to do the, you know, the badass pose, have his head tilted down. The pauldron comes off as well. It's very heavy as well too. So I don't want to really mess with it too much, because I don't want to, you know, scratch some paint off of that and rub it, you know, apply it to that and whatever. So just a lot of things I learned over many years of collecting. Don't mess with it too much or you'll damage it. And I already did with the jetpack, but whatever. Here's just a quick turnaround. The regular Captain Rex figure, it ran at a production run of 750 pieces. This one is actually the Sideshow exclusive version, which there was only 300 pieces of. The difference with the Sideshow exclusive version and the regular version is that Sideshow decided to include this little gem, which is pretty much a huge belt with grenades on them. What's kind of cool about this is that it has a really good weight to it, because all these little canisters are sculpted and painted, and then, you know, the belt is actual fabric. The only bad part is that the only way to display this is to put it in his hand right here and just hang it. It doesn't really go around his waist, it doesn't go over his shoulders. It's pretty much that's it, and it doesn't really connect to anything. So if you don't remove this and try to move your figure, then it's gonna fall, and you could, you know, cause some damage to the exclusive item that you paid, you know, for. So that kind of sucks.